Hello and welcome back to Democracy, everybody. Welcome back to Helldivers 2, where today we're going to be taking a look at the best Warbonds to get if you're a brand new player. So let's begin this with the Warbond that I would recommend to basically everybody. First one up would be Democratic Detonation. This one is just very, very good. It has a lot of really good things in it. In the first page, we've got the Thermite Grenade, which is one of the best grenades in the game. You can throw this, it sticks to enemies, it burns, and then it explodes. It does tons of damage. You can blow up buildings with this. It can usually one-shot chargers. It can kill titans pretty fast. It can kill pretty much every big thing in the game fairly quickly. It's a really, really good grenade. The armors, you actually get a mix of different armors in this one, and probably my favorite helmet. I love this one. But we get things like Engineering Kit, which is a pretty solid armor passive. We also have the Adjudicator, probably one of the best assault rifles at the moment. It is really, really good. It's got medium armor pen, it's got high damage, good magazine. The mods that you get on it are pretty good, like different sights for it, and if you reduce its recoil, it's really, really nice. Like if you get the vertical grip and the flash hider on it, or the compensator on it, whichever one you would like. That's really good. In the second page, we have the Expert Extraction Pilot. This is probably the low part of this Warbond, where the booster is garbage. Expert Extraction Pilot is good for basically nothing. The only time that it's kind of useful is if you were going to be running missions to upgrade your weapons faster. And even then, it's really not that necessary, because if you're going to run for upgrades, you could just kill yourself, and that could be faster than actually waiting for the pod to come back in. This one is kind of nice if you want to do that and also be running for samples. So go on like Blitz missions, particularly bot Blitz missions, because those ones tend to do the fastest. Then you can take this one, grab as many samples as you can in the limited amount of time that you have, knock out as many structures as possible, and then leave. And that will get you a decent amount of experience for your weapon, as well as you can then at least be collecting samples, and that's okay then. So it has kind of a niche now ever since the weapon upgrade system came out, but other than that, it's not way crazy. We also have the Eruptor here, which has gotten way better since the last update. It is now much faster to cycle the bolt on this thing. You can swap off like the scope on here, and you put like an angled grip, you put iron sights on here. It's got really good ergonomics then, so you can actually use this, and it takes out just about everything since it's an explosive weapon. This can close up bug tunnels, can knock out like illuminate ships, it can knock out the bot factories, at least if you're hitting them in like the spots where you need to hit them for explosives. The Eruptor is actually pretty solid right now. And then in the last tier, we also have the Grenade Pistol, which is probably one of the best secondaries that you can get in the game. It's super useful for just knocking out just about everything. It works really well against pretty much all of the enemies. And then we also have the Crossbow, which is arguably one of the best weapons in the game. It is also really, really good since it does so high damage. It doesn't really have too many modifications. It's basically just sights, but it doesn't really need them. It's also one-handed, so if you want to take this with like the Ballistic Shield, you absolutely can, and that's pretty strong. And yeah, this is just a very powerful Warbond. Basically everything in it is really, really good at the moment. So this would be the one that I'd recommend that most people grab right away. The second one I'd recommend is Truth Enforcers. Truth Enforcers has just steadily been getting better and better over time, because everything in it has been getting buffed. When this one first came out, it was very meh. It was very middle of the road compared to a lot of the stuff, but it did get much better over time. So the booster we got here is Dead Sprint. Dead Sprint isn't necessarily a crazy booster, but it is still a pretty good one. The Stamina booster is generally better than this, but this one is pretty nice. We also have the Halt Shotgun here. This one has been one of the best shotguns in the game ever since it came out. It is really good. It's got flechettes and it's got flashbangs, where this one's a little bit different than the Punisher, where you'd reload both the tubes at the same time, or one after the other. This one, you have two separate tubes swapping between them. The flash is very strong against big enemies, as you can hit like a charger and stun it immediately. You can also do the same thing with stalkers. It's really good for any sort of quick enemy like that, and that provides good crowd control. The other fire is flechettes, which have very long range, pretty tight spread. This one didn't get a whole lot of changes besides sights, but it's still just a fantastic shotgun. In page 2, we have the Reprimand, arguably one of the best submachine guns in the game at the moment, and kind of also competing with the assault rifles, since this one does, I think, more damage than all of the assault rifles, besides maybe the Tenderizer. This one might actually do more damage than the Tenderizer now that I think about it, because this one does 125, small magazine and slower rate of fire, but since you can put like better sights on this, you can also give it like a vertical foregrip, and you put like the compensator on it, it's extremely accurate. It does not bounce around very much at all. It does have a little bit of a slow rate of fire, but that's okay. The armors in here are the Unflinching, which Unflinching is actually better than it used to be. Unflinching was probably the worst passive up until this most recent patch, where this one now actually has like partially extra padding in it, which is really good. It also has 100% unflinching rather than 95% that it used to have, and you also get a little bit of scout mixed in with this too. So you get kind of a mix between unflinching, and it's actually not a terrible armor now. So that's pretty good. It's still not probably the best one, but it's okay. And then in the last tier, we also have the Plasma Loyalist Pistol, a really good secondary weapon too. You can charge this up and it can take out enemies pretty fast. Otherwise, you can spam it and it does pretty good damage too. It does like 125, so very good. And it also has medium armor pen on it, so you can hurt most of the bigger enemies with it too. So like this one just has a lot of solid weapons in it, and just solid gear all the way around. It is kind of funny that this one started out so meh, and now it's actually pretty good. The third Warbond that I'd recommend would be Polar Patriots. This is another Warbond that's actually pretty solid all the way across the board, where it's got some pretty decent armors, and it's got a variety of armors, where you have like servo assisted here, which is a pretty good passive. We have the motivational shocks, which is an okay booster. The muscle enhancement that you get from the free one is basically better than this though, so you don't really need it. We also have like the tenderizer here, which is a fantastic assault rifle. It's gotten better with the new weapon upgrades as well, where it was already pretty strong. It has light armor pen, but it does really high damage, and it looks fantastic. It's definitely the most Starship Trooper looking assault rifle that we've got. In tier 2, we got the pulverizer, which definitely got better thanks to the weapon upgrades as well. So if you want to use this and you want to be kind of supportive, especially with the submachine gun, this can work particularly well against like the squids and the bots. We also have the incendiary impact grenade, which is pretty cool. If you already like the impact grenade, you might like this one more because it gives you a little bit more crowd control, less single target damage, but potentially hitting more enemies is always a good thing. And then in page 3, we've got the Purifier, which is arguably one of the best weapons in the game at the moment. It's really good against pretty much everything ever since it got buffed. It started out as probably the worst primary weapon they've ever added to Helldivers, but it has gotten much better, because before it basically did nothing. It was very awkward for the longest time. Now this one does really high damage. You can shoot just about anything with this and hurt it. Like you can use the charged up shots from this, and I believe 2-shot like the gunships on bot missions. This thing can just wreak havoc on bots because usually they're not getting right on top of you. So taking your time and doing charged up shots with this is really, really nice. The upgrades it got are also pretty decent. They're nothing way crazy compared to certain weapons, but it's already a very crazy weapon by other weapon standards. And then we also have the P113 Verdict, the Deagle pistol. At least that's what I always call it. This one's really good too. This one is a pistol that works well with basically everything. It's got medium armor pen on it. It does high damage per shot. You can spam it out really quick. It's got a lot of extra mags. It's basically like the starting pistol upgraded. I haven't really played around with the starting pistol since it got changed in the most recent patch, but this one still does more damage than it and still has the medium armor pen over light armor pen, so that's good. And then the last Warbond that I'd recommend for new players would probably be the Steel Veterans Warbond. This one is the very first Warbond that came out, but it's always been a pretty solid Warbond. So in this we got multiple different armors. This one mostly has servo assisted armors. Actually, I think it's always servo assisted armors, whether you want light, medium, or heavy. That's still pretty good because you can throw your stratagems further, so it can be pretty nice if you want to take like a bunch of orbital strikes. That's always good. For the weapons, we have the Senator, which is really good at the moment. It's really good against everything. This is a heavy armor pen revolver, and ever since they gave it heavy armor pen and the speed loader, it's been a little monster. It's basically just a pocket sniper. You pull this out whenever you want to dome something and kill it quickly. This works really well. It can hurt pretty much everything in the game. You can shoot like Titans to death with this. It's not going to do it quickly, but you can do that. Same thing with Chargers. Mostly it's going to be really, really good against any of the medium enemies, since this will likely be able to 1 or 2 shot them. So Senator is really nice. We also have the Liberator Concussive, which honestly I haven't really used since the new weapon upgrade system came out. I've heard that it's gotten a bit better thanks to that, since you can swap it out for like a smaller mag size than the drum mag, and that makes it a little bit more snappy, as well as stuns are bugged in the moment, so this one has gotten better. In the page 2, we've got the Incendiary Grenade. This one's pretty good. It's very good against squids and bugs, not so great against bots. You can still use it against bots and it'll work just fine against the small and the medium ones, but it's not really going to do much to the big ones. Either way, though, it is a pretty standard grenade, similar to having like a Molotov from other games, other than you can use this to close up tunnels too. We also have the Incendiary Breaker, which this one has kind of gotten better with the new weapon changes, since you can swap out like the drum mag for the smaller or the medium-sized mags, which can be kind of better for a weapon like this, because usually you're just kind of spraying this at a crowd, and you may not need to spray out the entire thing. Where with the drum mag, sometimes you can get kind of carried away and just drop the magazine, at least I do. So with the new changes, this one has kind of gotten better, so that's nice to see. And then in the third page, we have the Flexible Reinforcement Budget. This one is probably one of the worst boosters as well. Sadly, pretty much all the ones that I've covered today have none of the best boosters in them. The free boosters tend to be really, really good though, so you don't really have to worry about that. But the Flexible Reinforcement Budget, this one makes it so you can get more Helldivers back in a shorter amount of time once you run out of Helldivers. The problem with that is if you're running out of Helldivers constantly, you're probably in a really bad position and you're just kind of struggling to survive, so this doesn't help that much. And if you're not running out of Helldivers, then this one does nothing. So it doesn't really help that much. If at all. Usually it would be better to take a different booster over something like this. But we do have the Jar 5 Dominator here, which did get better with the latest update because of the new changes. Like, making this thing more ergonomic feels really good. The Jar has always felt pretty strong in my opinion. It can run out of ammo potentially quickly, but it does do really high damage. It's got medium armor pen on it. It completely destroys bots. It's pretty good against bugs and squids too, so if you want to use it there, it's very nice. This Warbond also has a lot going for it, and those would be the major Warbonds that I recommend for new players. We do have the newest Warbond here with Force of Law, but this one's really bugged at the moment, so it's kind of hard to tell how good it would be. Those would be the main 4 that I'd recommend for new players, though. I think they give you the best options overall. However, if you really like the aesthetic of one of these Warbonds, or you really like a particular weapon, or you think you might like it, then go for it. Even if it's not one of the ones that I recommended here, definitely check it out. There's not really a bad one to go with here. You can make good use of pretty much all the Warbonds at the moment. They're all pretty decent, at least in some way or another. And again, if you just think something's cool, take that one over any of these others. Thank you guys so very much for watching this. I hope this helped you out. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.